Hey, what's up everyone? John here from TestPrepInsight.com, and today we're going to be directly comparing Pimsleur against Babbel. These are two of the most prominent language learning programs in the entire world, and as a result, people often have a tough time deciding which one to go with. Luckily for you, I've personally tested both of these programs out, and now I'm ready to reveal where Pimsleur wins against Babbel and vice versa. I'll cover pricing, what the lessons from both companies are all about, overall effectiveness, and much more. So if you keep an open mind and stick with me to the end, this video should be all you need to figure out whether Pimsleur or Babbel is the right choice for you to learn a new language. So if you're ready, let's get to it. Okay, welcome back. I should mention up front here that since I'll just be focusing on the major highlights and lowlights in this video, if you find you need more detail at any point, you can always check out our full detailed written comparison on our website. An easy way to get there is just to Google Test Prep Insight, Pimsleur vs. Babbel. Alright, let's cover pricing and affordability first. Both companies offer multiple subscription options. With Pimsleur, you have your choice between two packages. There's the Pimsleur Premium plan, which costs $20 per month and includes access to one language, or for $1 more per month, you can upgrade to the Pimsleur All Access plan, which includes access to all Pimsleur languages. There's over 50 of them. Babbel, on the other hand, offers 4 different subscription plans, all of which include access to just one selected language. In total, there are around 15 languages to choose from, but no matter which language you choose, there's the monthly plan, which costs $14 per month. Then there's the 3-month plan, which costs $30 or $10 per month, depending on which way you want to look at it. Then there's the 6-month plan, which costs around $50 or $8.50 per month. And then lastly, there's the 12-month plan, which costs around $83 or $7 per month. So from an overall cost perspective, there's no question Babbel is clearly the winner. On average, their plans are around $6 to $13 less than Pimsleur per month, depending on which subscription option you go with. Both companies also give you the chance to test out the waters before fully committing. With Pimsleur, you have a free 7-day trial period, and with Babbel, there's a 20-day money-back guarantee if you're not satisfied. Also, I should mention that both Pimsleur and Babbel offer deals and special promotions from time to time, so be sure to check out the description below for discount codes. I'll drop any current discounts that I can find down there for you. And by the way, we work really hard to produce honest, helpful, and informative content, all totally free. So if Pimsleur or Babbel end up being the right choice for you, we'd really appreciate it if you would use the links listed down below in the description. That's how you can support us and keep our channel going. And if you find that neither Pimsleur or Babbel are a great fit, it's no problem at all. It doesn't matter to me what language learning program you purchase. We have a ton of other helpful reviews and comparisons that you can check out. Okay, next up, let's talk about how the lessons from both companies differ in terms of structure and format. That way you can start to get an idea of whether Pimsleur or Babbel is right for you. And let's start with Pimsleur. Their lessons are rooted in conversational practice. So to start each lesson, you complete a 30-minute audio exercise where a moderator speaking in English walks you through a native conversation step by step. You'll listen to a few sentences in your target language. The moderator will then stop to explain the situation to you, and then he'll ask you questions and have you engage and participate. So essentially, think of this exercise as a guided conversation. That's really the heart of the Pimsleur lessons. And as you move up levels, the English moderator starts to phase out more and more as you become more familiar with the target language. And then after the audio lesson, you review what you just learned through a variety of drills and exercises. This includes reading drills, digital flashcards, quizzes, pronunciation training, and speed games. With Babbel, their lessons are a little shorter. Each one is only about 10 to 15 minutes long, and they go by super fast. And that's because each lesson is made up of several quick-hit interactive drills and exercises. For the first 2 minutes, you might be listening to new words or phrases and then repeating them. Then the lesson will quickly transition into a digital flashcards drill for a few minutes. From there, you might read a short grammatical or conjugation lesson and then reconstruct the words or phrases by using your keyboard. And then afterwards, you might be asked to complete a fill-in-the-blank exercise by following a mock conversation. It's just a very fast-moving, blended approach, which I really appreciated. So from a 10,000-foot view, that's how the two companies' lessons compare. The key takeaway here is that the Pimsleur lessons take around 45 minutes to an hour to complete from start to finish and place a very strong emphasis on listening and speaking in the context of an actual native conversation. Whereas the Babbel lessons are much shorter, include more variety in terms of drills and exercises, and place a stronger emphasis on reading and writing. And by the way, if you want to see examples of the lessons or drills from both companies, be sure to check out our full written comparison. It'll be linked down below in the description for you. I have screenshots and examples over there so you can get a better feel for what to expect. Okay, now that you have an idea of how the companies compare in terms of pricing and lesson format, let's get into the major pros and cons that I took away after testing each program. But before I get to that, I should mention that every single month here at Test Prep Insight, we give away a free language learning course to one lucky person. It's super simple to enter. Everyone is eligible. I'll put all the details down below in the description, and it'll take you less than 10 seconds to enter. And hey, you never know. You could win a free subscription to Pimsleur or Babbel. All right, so let's start with Pimsleur. Pro number one has to be the learning framework that forms the backbone of their program. I'm just a big fan. It's essentially just a variation of the popular spaced repetition system, but Pimsleur does put an interesting spin on it. So instead of just listening or reading to an individual word or phrase and then repeating it in order to remember it, like you do with Babbel most of the time, the Pimsleur audio lessons ask you to say words or phrases and respond to a native speaker in the context of an actual conversation. This helps keep you from becoming a passive listener. You're actively involved in tracking the conversation, and the moderator of the audio lessons keeps you on your toes since you need to understand what's going on and respond at various intervals. In my opinion, this active participation is powerful at getting you to recall and use the language under pressure just as you would in real-life situations. That's the most important point here. You're getting simulated real-world experience, which really at the end of the day is about the best environment for truly learning a new language, as opposed to just listening and repeating words in a vacuum. Okay, pro number two. Because the heart of the Pimsleur lessons are audio-based, I like that you can complete the lessons while you're working out, washing dishes, taking your dog for a walk, etc. It's just nice that you don't have to be glued to your computer or phone at all times like you do with Babbel. The Pimsleur mobile app even comes with a special driving mode, so you can learn and bang out lessons on your way to work or driving on a long road trip. So overall, I have to give props to Pimsleur for how flexible their lessons are. You don't need to stay in one place with your head buried in your phone. You can complete lessons while you're on the go. Okay, pro number three. I do like that Pimsleur offers access to all of their language learning courses for only $1 more per month. Now, I realize the vast majority of people out there are only looking to learn one language, so this really doesn't matter. But for the few that do plan on learning multiple languages, this is definitely a nice perk. Or if you're looking to save some money and you know a family member or friend who's also looking to learn a new language, you can partner up and split the cost for one account. Okay, so now let's switch sides and cover the major pros in favor of Babbel. And the first one has to be the variety of their lessons, drills, and exercises. I love how Babbel throws the same content at you in a variety of different ways in a short time frame. And the lessons force you to interact with the material through several different perspectives, including listening, speaking, reading, and writing. And as a result, not only do you get experience with all of these mediums, but you also don't get bored with the lessons. Babbel does a great job keeping your attention, which, if I'm being honest, I can't always say about Pimsleur. Sometimes their audio-based lessons can just move a little slow. So overall, I just really like the swift, interactive nature of Babbel's lessons, and I think you will too. Alright, pro number two in favor of Babbel is that their lessons are better suited for visual learners. Whereas Pimsleur's lessons place a strong emphasis on listening and speaking, Babbel's lessons and drills span the spectrum. Yes, you'll practice listening and speaking also, but there's broader coverage. And by the way, Babbel's lessons utilize voice recognition technology so they can tell you when you're pronouncing words correctly or incorrectly. This is something missing from Pimsleur. But in addition to that, you'll also be asked to complete drills where you have to practice using your keyboard to type in words and phrases. In some instances, you'll even be asked to reconstruct words and phrases entirely. But perhaps most importantly, Babbel incorporates grammar content and exercises into their lessons. And the nice thing here is that Babbel doesn't bog you down with dense, boring grammatical principles, because sometimes I actually think that can do more harm than good when you're first learning a new language. Instead, they integrate grammar into their instruction through lessons in very subtle and efficient ways. For example, one grammar exercise might include just a quick 1 to 2 sentence explanation in English regarding adjectives versus adverbs, and then you participate by filling in the blanks in example sentences. So overall, the key takeaway here is that with Babbel, you get to practice listening, speaking, reading, and writing, and you'll learn key grammar principles in your target language along the way. Okay, last pro in favor of Babbel is that they offer live classes. Now, to be totally clear, these classes are not included in Babbel's standard subscription. You have to pay extra, and it can get a little pricey. But essentially, the company offers hundreds of small group live classes per week across all different learning levels. I'm talking no more than 6 students per class, and each class is typically 60 minutes long and covers all sorts of different topics. For example, if Spanish is your target language, the class topics might range from local food in Guadalajara to Spanish holidays to architecture and paintings in Spain. It really does vary widely, and you can get down some serious rabbit holes and learn about some really interesting topics, all while improving your language skills. Overall, they're just a fantastic way to dive deeper into specific subjects and interact with your peers and learn from experienced teachers. And since there are so many classes, you can basically pick the days and times that work for you and drop in and out of classes as you please. And that about does it for the detail in this comparison. So let's get to the final verdict. Should you choose Pimsleur or Babbel? Well, after testing each program, it's a very close call. Honestly, too close to call. It's sort of a tie in my opinion. One course doesn't stand head and shoulders above the other. They both have their own strengths and weaknesses. The decision here ultimately boils down to your budget and learning preferences. If you're on a really tight budget and you just can't stomach an extra $10 or so per month, then Babbel is clearly the way to go. But if price isn't a concern, then you need to think about your schedule and how you learn best. If you have a somewhat open schedule and you don't mind taking 45 minutes to an hour to complete a lesson from start to finish, and you're more of a verbal learner, for example, you learn best by listening and participating in real conversations, then I think Pimsleur is the right choice. On the flip side, if you're a super busy person and you can only spare 10 or 15 minutes per day, and you're more of a visual learner, you want to see images and you need to regularly practice reading and writing in order to learn, then I think Babbel is the right choice. And that's all I have for you. I hope this video has been helpful and you learned a little something. If so, make sure to return the favor by subscribing to our channel, liking this video, and dropping us a quick comment below letting us know what you thought. That'd be really appreciated. And if you want to learn more about either of these companies or see that full detailed written comparison that I talked about earlier in this video, make sure to jump on over to our website or check out the rest of the videos on our YouTube channel. We have a ton of great content about language learning. Anyways, as always, thanks for watching, best of luck, and we'll see you in the next one.